Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. And this is the guide where everything finally comes together. We had the first look, we explored the skills, we studied the relics, we tested the teams, we started seeing the counters. And now it is time to build the full picture of Kendall, the new Chaos Mage who brings one of the most dangerous mechanics ever introduced into Hero Wars, Alliance. Critical pure damage. That phrase alone explains why this hero deserves attention. Pure damage already ignores the usual defensive layers, and when that damage can critically hit, the entire conversation changes. Kendall is not just another backline mage trying to throw damage into the fight. She is a pressure engine built around sacrifice, magical critical hit chance, health manipulation, and team-wide offensive amplification. She hurts herself, she burns allies, she rewards sacrifice, and then she turns that pain into damage that can become devastating when the right support is placed around her. Her role is clear from the start. Kendall is a backline mage from the Way of Chaos, and everything in her kit follows the same philosophy: controlled suffering becomes power. Lava Kiss targets the enemy with the lowest health, deals magic damage, then keeps applying pure damage every second while Kendall sacrifices her own health as long as she remains above 30%. This gives her execution pressure, because she does not simply hit a target and move on. She keeps hunting that weakened enemy until they fall, and because the follow-up damage is pure damage, traditional armor and magic defense are not the answer. Sweet Torture is where her identity expands from personal damage into team amplification. Kendall increases magical critical hit chance for herself and allies who have taken damage from their own skills or allied skills since the last activation. This is the heart of Chaos synergy. The team suffers, but that suffering becomes a weapon. Zesha, Aidan, and other sacrifice-based allies naturally start feeding this mechanic, while Kendall herself also activates it through her own health cost skills. This is why she does not feel like a random mage, she creates an ecosystem around herself. Friendly Fire pushes that idea further by igniting the ally with the highest percentage of maximum health. That ally loses health over time, but whenever they attack, Kendall deals extra pure damage to their target. This is an amazing mechanic because she turns an ally into an extension of her own pressure. Fast attackers, durable allies, and heroes protected by strong healing can keep this effect active longer, creating more pure damage moments across the fight. Then Purge by Pain connects the full kit together, because Kendall's basic attacks sacrifice her own health to deal pure damage, and with the legendary effect, that pure damage can critically hit based on her magical critical hit chance. This is the mechanic that makes her special. Sacrifice creates crit chance empowers pure damage, and pure damage becomes a win condition. Now, when we move into relics, the design becomes even more impressive. Agony Surge creates a constant cycle every 10 seconds. If Kendall is above 30% health, she sacrifices health and deals pure damage to a ranged enemy. If she falls below 30%, the relic helps restore her instead. That means the relic is not just extra damage, it helps regulate her risk. Lava Kiss improves with relics by restoring health before activation and increasing her magical critical hit chance, which makes her main offensive sequence much safer and far more dangerous. Purge by Pain becomes the real shockwave, because the relic allows allied pure damage to critically hit too. This is no longer only about Kendall. This opens the door to entire team structures built around critical pure damage. Finally, Reaping Hour increases Kendall's pure damage whenever allies take damage from their own skills or allied skills, rewarding exactly the type of sacrifice loops Chaos teams already want to create. So how do we build her? First, skills must be maxed. No debate. Kendall's kit is too connected to leave pieces unfinished. If one skill is weak, the entire engine loses value. Sparks of Power should also be maxed because she needs strong base stats to make these mechanics shine. For skins, she currently has her default Intelligence skin, and that should be maxed because Intelligence improves her main scaling, damage, and stability. For glyphs, my priority is immediate impact. Start with magic attack because every skill becomes more dangerous with it. Then move into magical critical hit chance because this is the stat that unlocks the real difference between Kendall and other mages. After that, Intelligence gives damage, survivability, and scaling together. Health comes next because she must survive her own sacrifice mechanics, and magic defense finishes the glyph path. Artifacts are where you need to be smart. Torture Secrets, her book, should be a major priority because it gives magical critical hit chance and health, exactly the two things she wants most, more critical pure damage potential and more survival to keep sacrificing. Lord Beholder, her weapon artifact, is also huge because it grants magical critical hit chance to the team, making it an amplifier for her entire identity and potentially for allies that can benefit from her relic interactions. The Ring of Intelligence still matters, but I would leave it after the book and weapon because right now I want Kendall's mechanics online as fast as possible. Her Talisman, the Talisman of Torture, gives intelligence with armor, and that is very useful in her current state because she still lacks extra skins and needs more stability while maintaining offensive direction. Now let's talk teams, because Kendall is not locked into one idea. Chaos is natural for her, but she also connects with healing, control, magical critical hit chance, pure damage, and battlefield disruption. One team that stood out is Byrna, Maya, Lian, Kendall, and Aidan. Byrna brings magical critical hit chance, healing and energy support. Maya adds poison pressure and healing. Lian adds control and pure damage interactions. Aidan gives sacrifice, shields, sustain and maximum health manipulation. In the middle of all of this, Kendall shines as the damage amplifier and pure damage threat. Another strong idea is Maya, Cascade, Lian, Kendall, and Aidan. Cascade changes the rhythm by adding disruption and his weapon artifact support with magic penetration or armor penetration, which helps the non-pure parts of the team hit harder while Kendall keeps applying pure damage. Cascade also brings adaptive damage, reading enemy defenses and attacking through the most effective damage type. This makes the team harder to stabilize against, because pressure comes from many directions. Then we have Electra, Zesha, Kendall, Aidan, and Mew. This one feels more direct and more intense. Electra manipulates enemy targeting and creates openings, while Zesha, Aidan, and Kendall form a beautiful sacrifice trio. Health manipulation feeds scaling, sacrifice feeds pressure, and healing keeps the engine alive. Mew adds strong magical critical damage and blindness, which means enemies are pressured toward Electra while also risking missed attacks. This team is chaotic, explosive, and visually incredible in battle. But every hero has counters, and Kendall is no exception. Phobos can be a serious problem because his paralysis can stop her from using skills and interacting properly, especially after his relic upgrades. Cornelius is also dangerous because he can hunt intelligence heroes with Monolith and potentially remove her before her mechanics truly develop. And sometimes the best counter is simply speed. If a fast Satori or Iris composition deletes the team before Kendall's sacrifice loops start scaling, her critical pure damage may never get the time to shine. So Guardians, this is Kendall. A Chaos Mage built around sacrifice, pure damage, magical critical hit chance, relic amplification, and team synergy. She is not simple. She is not automatic. But when built correctly and placed inside the right team, she looks like one of the most fascinating heroes released in a long time. There is still much more to test, more teams to refine, more counters to explore, and more mechanics to understand, but one thing is already clear, Kendall brings something new to the game, and that makes her exciting. Stay tuned, stay sharp. And as always, salute and friendship.